Good morning to everybody. Hope you can listen to me and my voice is loud and clear. Please confirm. Just give me thumbs up to show that I am audible. Okay, so this is the first ever session which we are conducting after the budget. Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, our FM, introduced a fantastic budget on 1st of February, and market rose like anything, like market joy was to the sky. So in technical parlance, we are calling that candle as a Nirmala candle. In fact, we are calling that candle as a Nirmala 2 candle, because when there was a corporate tax cut in 2019, Nifty rose by 800 points, and on Monday, 1st February, it rose by more than 500 points. So this is Nirmala 2 candle. So we felt how to analyze budget and what could be the effect of budget on market. Because in last 4 days after the budget, the market is rising like anything. It must have risen more than 1,500 Nifty points in last 4 days. So thought of sharing what we have analyzed as Wealth Race to N, the budget and its impact on the market in coming maybe months or maybe years. So let us start analyzing the budget. Here are my few slides which I'm going to explain what changes FM has made in the budget and what could be its impact on the economy as a whole, in turn as a market, equity market as a whole. So where the market will lead to here from? So that's the question which came to our mind, and what are the changes, what are the new things which was introduced by Nirmala Sitharaman ji in the budget, and what is the government perception to take our economy to. It is called as Atmanirbhar Bharat. So they are propagating Atmanirbhar Bharat, and really the changes will make us Atmanirbhar or not. So let us see one by one. So first new thing which this budget is introduced is introduction of Development Finance Corporation, so which is called as DFI. So she announced that a Development Finance Corporation will be established with a separate legislation which will be passed in the present budget session of Parliament. And what is this for? Basically, National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development, NFID. NFID will be set up as a separate corporation, 100% owned by government. What does this corporation will do? Basically, this intention of government to set up this corporation is basically monetize the various infrastructure projects in India. Now, if you see in developed countries like US, Canada, China, Japan, basically the interest rates are very low. And what they can, so say, take example of Japan. Japan is not required to import anything, but they are exporting everything. The only thing which they can export is capital. So they have huge capital, Canadian pension fund, US pension fund, Japanese pension fund, other European Union countries pension fund or retirement funds. They have got huge money to be invested in the developing countries. So to attract such capital, foreign a foreign direct investment, such a Development Finance Corporation has been established. What does this DFI will do? DFI will segregate infrastructure projects in India. Say there is a road construction from Delhi to Noida or Delhi to Jaipur, and it can break up that particular road in three parts, and one road they will get it financed through Canadian Pension Fund. Another part of the road they will get it financed through maybe Japanese pension fund. So in order, so government can provide us infrastructure without investment. The toll collection of those particular roads, then various other collections will go to this investors. So this is nothing but monetization of infrastructure projects. You must be listening to Mr. Gadkari, how he does generates or how he monetizes various infrastructure projects. But now the central government on its own are trying to create a proper infrastructure wherein these such infrastructure projects can be monetized. Secondly, establishment of bad bank. So what is bad bank? Nowadays, you must be observing that there are NPAs in the system more than, say, people are saying 16 lakh crores, 12 lakh crores, 1.5 lakh crores, various figures, or various PSU banks has a lot of NPAs. Now, these NPAs are created, say, after Raghuraman Rajan tightened the system on PSU banks and various other banks. All these NPAs got recognized, and these banks in last 5 years started writing off such NPAs against their profits, and these NPAs are trying to recover. So this bad bank is to be created. This bad bank will be owned by various PSU banks, like ownership, 2% ownership to Bank of India, 4% ownership to Bank of Baroda, 5% ownership to Canara Bank, like this. All PSU banks will be transferring their NPAs to such bad bank. And this bad bank, what they will do? Bad bank will systematically online auction these doubtful assets. And such pension funds or such foreign investment will subscribe for that. Say, if there are 1 lakh crore NPA which got auctioned at 60,000 crore, means these foreign pension funds or foreign financial institution will buy that, paying 60,000 crores to this bad bank. So there will be a haircut to this bad bank, but there would be a concentrated efforts to recover this particular NPA or to go after defaulters. Concrete methods and concrete procedures will be followed, and it can recover this financial institution who has subscribed or who has purchased this NPAs in 60,000 crores. They will try to get it at recovery maybe at 80,000 crores, and 20,000 crores will become their profit. But what this will clear the books of PSU banks, and PSU banks can start fresh lending, and it will be helpful for our growth of our economy. Then,
can everyone, if possible, put their videos on, because it feels like we're talking to just ourselves. So it would be nice to see a few faces, if you can. That is, thank you. Sorry.
So third is government is trying to establish an infra fund, and they are allowed to issue zero coupon bonds to the investors. This is again monetization of infra projects by attracting international monetary spend, like international financial foreign direct investment or such pension funds who wants to earn interest maybe 7%, 8%, wherein their country they'll get about 0% or 1%. So these foreign finance, to attract these foreign financial funds from a long-term point of view, because such funds are not interested in 1 month, 2 months, 6 months investment, but they'll be interested in maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, maybe even 50 years investment. So here you might be aware that Mumbai to Ahmedabad bullet train project is been financed by Japanese financial institution, 96,000 crores will be financed by Japanese financial corporation at the rate of 0.5%. Means you will get we will get the money at ardha takka, 0.5%, and the repayment period is 50 years, and moratorium period is 20 years. So EMI won't start before 20 years. The EMI will start after 20 years, and thereafter in 50 years we need to repay this 96,000 crore rupees loan. So this is another way of monetizing project and establishing infrastructure, developing infrastructure in India without putting money. Because now we can attract capital, considering our population, we can, means they see demand for such infra projects, use of such infra projects, and they see a return in that. Fourth point is this budget provides highest ever capital expenditure in last 72 years. Government has not spent highest such expenditure. This budget provides for highest capital expenditure. See, in post-corona era, when the economy slowed down, not only in India, but in entire world, the economy slowed down. So now to kickstart the economy, finance minister said spend, spend, spend is the mantra for kickstarting the economy. So what is this spend, spend, spend? So there are three factors in the economy which can kickstart the economy. Well, first is government. So either government needs to spend. Secondly, private capex means corporate needs to spend in new projects, in new plants, in setting up new factories. They need to spend, or people need to spend. Third factor is people. So here people are afraid of what will happen in future, what will happen to my job, my income source. So people are not much spending. Secondly, private capex, capital investment in last 3, 4, 5 years is not happening to a great extent. So the last alternative which left with the government is spending themselves. So this budget has provided a huge capital expenditure. And the most attractive part of this spending is not by increasing taxes. So government must need to earn the money to spend. And if you go to the basics of economics, Keynesian multiplier theory, I'll explain you in 2 minutes. Keynesian multiplier theory, what does it say? If a government spends 100 rupees, say on infrastructure projects, so that money will go to labor, that money will go to cement companies, steel companies, that companies will run, then that factories, cement factories or steel factories will pay wages to the employees, that employees will go and buy biscuits, that employees will go and buy soft drinks or daily necessities. So every 100 rupees spent actually by government turns to 1,000 rupees in circulation in the economy. So Keynesian says it multiplies at least 10%. Sometimes it multiplies to 20 times as well. So government is going with this mantra, spend, spend, and spend. So government is now spending. We are looking at even private capex is also coming in place. Various companies like Bajaj Auto is investing 650 crores in setting up new factory in Maharashtra. So such type of companies are started spending because they are seeing the demand. Next point could be fiscal deficit highest ever. आतापर्यंत जे फिस्कल डेफिसिट होतं ते 3-3.5% आसपास होतं. People were means government was going with a financial discipline because IMF किंवा international rating agencies जे आहेत they are always try to assess the country and they give rating based on their financial discipline observed by the government in that country. So we were controlling our financial deficit around 3.5% to 4.5%. Now in this year, this fiscal deficit is going beyond 10%, and next year they are projecting it to 6.8%. Again, here the basic economics comes into play. So what is a fiscal deficit? In layman's language, you can say you are earning 100 rupees and you are spending 110 rupees. So 10 rupees is a fiscal deficit. So 10 rupees, how do you generate? Either you generate through credit card or you generate through loans. Again, loan has an interest, so you need to pay interest. So every year, if you go on spending, if there is a financial fiscal deficit every year, so ultimately it's a loan trap. It becomes a loan trap, and the countries go into haywire. So fiscal deficit after this COVID, once upon a time, once to kickstart the economy, it's correct to increase the fiscal deficit. And most importantly, this fiscal deficit is not made by increasing the taxes on the people, increasing the taxes on the citizens. It has been, government plans to increase this or fulfill this fiscal deficit via strategic sale of government assets. Like government will be coming out with LIC IPO. So it may generate around 2 lakh crores, then sale of Air India, Concor. These are the example where they are trying to monetizing the assets. Why this Nirmala Candle 2 came on Monday is basically the people, the market was expecting there would be a COVID cess, there would be some kind of tax to mitigate whatever expenditure government is doing on vaccination, and because government is trying to do vaccination free of cost to every citizen. So वो खर्चा किधर से आएगा? तो वो खर्चा शायद कोविड सेस आ सकता है, कोविड टैक्स आ सकता है, but it didn't came. So this market rallied like anything. So this is fifth important point wherein government is taking, trying to kickstart the economy. Next is the small changes which is affecting the people's participation in equity and mutual fund. So voluntary provident fund more than 2.5 lakhs per annum. This is the route which is wrongly used by HNI clients. Means those people who are working and they are salaried class, having a huge salary, and they are contributing more and more money to government provident fund. Like it is called as VPF, voluntary provident fund contribution was in lakhs and crores of rupees. So because how they are mal utilizing this is basically this carries a good rate of interest, so 7.4%, 7.4%, 5%, and which is tax free. So government has put a cap like 2.5 lakh rupees per annum. ह्याच्यावरती जे लोक contribute करत असतील, तो वरच्या contribution वर जो interest मिळेल, that interest will become taxable at the time of retirement. So why this has been done? This has been done by the government is that because of that key government doesn't want to increase their loan burden. What is VPF? What is PPF? What is Post Office NSC? This is nothing but the government borrowing. So this government doesn't want to, in fact, more and more borrowing at more and more higher cost. So they are discouraging people and to contribute towards VPF, which makes the money available in the hands of people more, and they may spend or they may invest in various other alternatives as equities or mutual funds or fixed return instruments. So this is one small change which will have impact on equity people's participation in equity market. Then ULIP more than 2.5 lakh rupees per annum. So it was an anomaly which was there in the system. Unit link insurance plan were taxed differently, and mutual funds and equities were taxed differently. So this government has made this equal, like a small person who is investing less than 2.5 lakh rupees in ULIP will get that exemption, but the HNIs and bigger people, bigger investors who are using this ULIP to generate tax-free returns will be taxed. Will be taxed as maturity, as the maturity of such ULIPs will be taxed as capital gains, long-term capital gain. A small change which this budget proposes is senior citizen more than 75 years, they are not required to file the return, because government feels ki they are harassed, or they are unnecessary put into unnecessary task or filing return, go to chartered accountant and get the return filed. So here, those genuine persons having only pension income and only interest income, they are not required to file the return. Wherever they draw pension, that bank will estimate their income and deduct the tax on their income. No need to file the return. Then one PLI scheme was introduced in pre-budget. So before budget in COVID, when we were under lockdown or unlock 1 or unlock 2, government introduced this PLI scheme. This is nothing but a production linked incentive scheme. This production linked incentive scheme is basically, in simple words, you can say that whatever production is done in this financial year, say January to March, suppose the production is 100 units, and last year, January to March, the production is 90 units. So 10 units, the factory or the company has produced more. So the government will give incentive to them to produce more. And this is basically to attract private capex, because they put a condition that the company should establish a new factory or new plant for this production. So they need to invest in land, building, plant, machinery, everything, and the more jobs will be created because of that. And initially, this PLI scheme was introduced to very few sectors, about 8 to 10, 11 sectors, and now it has increased to 26, 27 sectors. So all those voltas, then electric switches manufacturing, say like pharma से लेके FMCG, every sector is included in this PLI scheme. So government is inducing private companies to establish new plants and start production and increase production, and they'll get incentive for that. Another important step which government did in 2019 was a reduction of corporate tax. This was a pre-budget amendment, but uska fruits abhi apne ko dekhne ko mil raha hai, because every company जो result अभी आ रहा है Q2, Q3 जो result आ रहा है उसका benefit हमको इसमें देखने को मिल रहा है. We are getting that benefit. What does that corporate tax cut, that section was introduced in Income Tax Act, what does it says? It says 15% tax for next 10 years on your income of the factory. So here, the conditions are you have to establish a new factory, you have to have a new machinery. So very less scope for manipulation. Existing factory का machinery निकाल के उधर लगाया और वो सब. There is no possibility of such manipulation in this particular system. So this will again attract private capex to kickstart the economy and to create the jobs. Definitely it takes some period to get the fruits of it, to establish a factory, searching a land, ordering fitting machinery and start the production. These private companies may take 1.5 years to complete and start the production. So now we will be starting to see such benefits. Many people ask this question: will equity market crash from Nifty 15,000 or Sensex 50,000? Is this a bubble? Okay. So सचमुच ये market अभी 50,000 पे पहुंचा है, because nobody has believed in last month of March or April when we were under lockdown, when the market at 7,555 or 7,510 was the lowest. उधर से 15,000 Nifty जाएगा. Nobody has thought. So whether really it's a bubble. How are we getting convinced that this is not a bubble? This is not a bubble. Economy is really firing from all ends. So I've plotted some points which we as a financial advisor are considering and getting conviction that this 15,000 Nifty is not a bubble, and this rally can stay long. So important data points suggest otherwise. So what does it suggest? Credit lending growth. So RBI publishes month on month, like every month it publishes a report, and in that report it says how much credit growth is there in last month. Say in January it says the credit growth was 4.5% in case of PSU banks or in case of banks. Whereas yesterday the SBI result came and SBI shot up more than 10% in a day. Like वो भी मैंने किसी ने सोचा नहीं था. SBI was 150 rupees, now it is more than 500 rupees. तो वो क्यों हुआ है? तो SBI का क्रेडिट ग्रोथ 8% के ऊपर है आज के दिन में, लास्ट क्वार्टर में. So why there is credit growth? Who takes that loan? Credit growth means loan book is increasing. So who is taking loan? Maybe private companies are taking loan. Maybe individual people, public is taking loan to consume, to purchase white goods. So there is activity in the economy. So credit lending growth is increasing month on month. Then second very important point is GST collection. People are not believing that last month GST collection was 1,20,000 crores. That's highest ever since GST introduced in July 2017. उसके पहले दिसंबर का कलेक्शन था 1,15,000 करोड़. उसके पहले कलेक्शन था 1,05,000 करोड़. So this is nothing but why people are paying GST? Because they are selling their goods, so they are paying GST. So why they are selling? Because there is demand in the market. That's why they are selling the goods. So this is a very good indicator that economy is firing, and this equity markets are not bubble, and market always anticipates and runs on future. So next year, maybe 21-22, government initial year government estimated that GST collection could be around 13 lakh crore, 13 to 13.5 lakh crore, means average 1 to 1.05 lakhs a month. Now we have got the figure of 1.2 lakhs. So the market is anticipating in 21-22 it will be definitely around 1.15 lakh crore due to increase in economy. Next indicator what we are looking at is PMI index, that is Purchasing Managers Index. There are two separate index, PMI index manufacturing and PMI index service. So the base index is 50. So any country showing PMI index above 50 means there is a growth. So last year's every month it has been published. So last month's PMI index is around 55, 56. In fact, service PMI index was around 56. So this PMI index is also increasing every month and month. So the activity in the economy has started, and it has started in a big way. So that can be interpreted or that can be concluded. Second, if you observe every first of the month, two-wheeler and four-wheeler companies need to declare their last month sales to SEBI or to stock exchanges. So even if you observe this two or four-wheeler sales month on month, it is getting increased. So some people came out with the doubt that it could be because of pent-up demand. So what is pent-up demand? Because we were sitting at home in lockdown period for 6-8 months. So that demand is getting created now. Like people are spending now to acquiring four-wheeler and two-wheelers in the present month. But increase of two-wheeler sales, four-wheeler sales, and commercial vehicle sales, tractor sales, कंस्ट्रक्शन मशीनरी सेल्स, इसके भी नंबर इनको हर महीना डिक्लेयर करना पड़ता है. सो इफ यू ऑब्जर्व दैट मंथ ऑन मंथ नंबर्स, इट इज इंक्रीजिंग. Okay, then CPI, WPI inflation. So what is CPI is consumer price inflation and wholesale price inflation. So CPI government has given a responsibility to RBI to maintain this inflation at 4% level, plus or minus 2%. Matlab RBI was monitoring this inflation from 2% to 6%. First time ever in December, I think in November, it went beyond 6%. Otherwise, in last 6 years, it was between 2% to 6%. So what does this inflation affect? How does this inflation affect general public? Now, if you see the real FD rate or Government of India bond rate is around 6%, 5.5% to 6%, and inflation say around 6%. So the real rate of return, what is real rate of return is GSEC rate minus inflation is real rate of return. So here, first time ever, now real rate of return in India is 0. This was earlier about 1.5% because inflation was 4.5%, and FD rate was 6%. So the real rate was 1.5, and now it is near to 0. Then government or NSO, National Statistics Organization, comes out with GDP growth figures. That is quarter on quarter. How much GDP has grown in this quarter compared to last quarter. So again, that data is encouraging. In fact, if you have gone through the IMF prediction about growth of India in 2021, GDP growth in India in 2021 is around 11%. GDP growth for this year estimated by this year 2021 is estimated by RBI is around 7.5%. 21-22 they are estimating it at 11%. So this is again a data point which is favorable and in favor of market. Then interest rates, repo rates, reverse repo rates. So if you observe last 3-4 years, government is, or rather RBI is reducing this repo rate, and now the repo rate is at 3.75% or 4%. Reverse repo rate is 3.25%. So we are getting housing loan at 6.8, 6.9%, lowest ever which I have seen in my life. 6.8% में housing loan, impossible. कोई सोच भी नहीं सकता था 6.8% में हाउसिंग लोन हो सकता है, मिल सकता है. So again, this could be another 1 or 2 years. This could be the bottom for real estate sector, because real estate sector is the sector which creates maximum number of jobs in the economy. So people are now thinking of buying a loan or changing their one-room kitchen to 1 BHK, 1 BHK to 2 BHK. Like that, the process has increased. Then we observe another data point, which is bond yields. That is Government of India bond yields. There are 3 types of Government of India bond: 1 to 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. So 10 years GSEC yield was 5.85 to 5.9% pre-budget. It has increased to 6.10 to 6.15%. So this again a data point which suggests that there is a huge liquidity in the economy, and it can help equity market to grow. Now coming to the other extreme of the pendulum, will equity market touch Nifty 35,000 and Sensex 1 lakh? By when? So again, I am keeping this recording of this particular session, and again we will play this recording after 5 years and then see what at what level Nifty is and Sensex is. So here, what important data, what suggests that this can happen? Nifty at 35,000, Sensex at 1 lakh. COVID-19 recovery much faster compared to the world. So everybody can agree. आज न्यूयॉर्क का केसेस देखो, लंदन का केसेस देखो, इटली का केसेस देखो, all Europe. India has performed very well and swiftly निकल गए India out of this COVID-19 recovery. So that is the important point wherein our market has given a V-shaped recovery. Second point could be India's fastest growing economy, and therefore it is attracting huge foreign inflow. Huge foreign inflow you must be seeing, or if you observe the FII investment every day. In our equity group, we always suggest how much did FII bought on that particular day. So in last, say from 1st November, if you calculate, till now, FII must have invested more than 1,50,000 crores in equity market. Now, why these FI are they mad? Are they mad investing in India, or are they investing in short term? Are they trading? No. So they have got a various huge research departments and research mechanism wherein what we cannot see, or we didn't want to accept, or we don't want to accept, really the Nifty can touch 35,000 or Sensex can touch 1 lakh. So, but they are looking these figures, and therefore they are investing in a huge way in Indian equity market. If you observe superb Q3 results, Q3 results were superb. They are showing continuation of corporate growth year on year. If you observe, I can name few companies. Asian Paints profit growth 62% or 64% year on year. RBI market was expecting an NPAs of RBI would be around 8%, but it came at 0.5%. So it's a huge corporate improvement in corporate profits. I can give you another data point wherein Q2, September to December, Nifty EPS has grown by 17%. These Q3 results are not fully declared by Nifty companies. They will be declaring in this month of February as well. So let us see how much growth it comes. Presently in 2021, it is estimated that Nifty EPS will be around 400 rupees. Okay, now next year, 21-22, it is expected to grow by 20%. So Nifty EPS will be 500 rupees. And 22-23, it will grow at 30%. So we are estimating Nifty EPS will be around 650-660 in 22-23. Now, some people are advocating Nifty ka PE is at 35, so Nifty should crash. But market is looking and discounting the EPS of 22-23. If you divide present Nifty 15,000 at 15,000 divided by 660 ka EPS, then Nifty ka PE will be around 21-22, and which is not unreasonable. Next point would be weak base effect. Last 3-4 years pre-COVID 3 साल आप अगर देखेंगे तो 3 साल में इंडिया का growth Nifty PE has not EPS has not grown at all. 1 या 2% का growth था. तो ये base effect weak होने की वजह से this growth is looking fantastic. Fifth point, I myself am convinced the complete change of mindset by FM in budget. So government का mindset change हो रहा है, वो दिख रहा है. Government is starting and giving importance to growth, importance to entrepreneurship, importance. They are inducing private companies to establish new factories, to establish new companies. They are attracting foreign manufacturers like Motorola or Nokia or Apple to set up factories in India. They are trying to attract factories from China so that jobs will be created and there would be a growth in the economy. So these are the subjective points on which we are looking at, from whether the Nifty will touch to 35,000 and Sensex to 1 lakh. So let us see some other way. Why this can happen? Like some basic platform has been created by Government of India in last 3-4 years, which will be helpful for India to clock a very good growth in the economy, and in turn our equity can grow with a super return, which can give you super return. Like GST is introduced. अभी GST का benefit अगले 6 महीने, 8 महीने, 10 महीने में सबको दिखने लगेगा when the collection would be more than 1 lakh each month. Then the RERA. So government tried to bring a real estate sector, which was a huge sector in the economy, but which was hugely unorganized. Government tried to frame this RERA and bring the real estate sector as into an organized sector. Demonetization. Demonetization was a killing reform. Like it has changed the mindset of the people and investors. So उसका benefit भी अभी अपने को देखने को मिलेगा. Then in case of various government projects like dedicated freight corridor between Mumbai and Delhi, and there would be Delhi and Kolkata, then Delhi and Chennai. So all these goods train. See how the economy grow. Economy grow when there is a infrastructure in place. If there are dedicated freight corridor, then these goods can be transported very fast from place A to place B. Passenger traffic is not affected because of this freight corridor. So all those projects, transportation through seaways or transportation through rivers, dedicated container transportation in Ganga. So all these infra projects will start giving dividends in coming years. Labor laws, reforms in labor laws, reforms in farm laws, corporate tax deduction at 15%, then PLI scheme. So this is nothing but a creation of basic platform which government tried to create, and uska benefit we will be seeing in next 3-4 years. So coming to the technical point, you must be hearing this particular pattern which we are seeing, or with this particular growth, which or Nifty, which grown from 7,500 to 15,000, is similar to a growth which India has seen in 2003 to 2008. So in practically, if you see from 2003, the Nifty was at 920 rupees. 920. Index Nifty was at 920 in 2003. And in 2007, it has grown to 6,357. In 4 or 5 years, Nifty has become 6 times. So Nifty has become 6 times in 5 years. So this 15,000 Nifty can become 6 times in 5 years. So I am convinced that Nifty will definitely become 3 times at least from in next 5 years. So ये Nifty खाली ऊपर ही जा रहा था क्या 2003 से लेके 2008 तक. So nahi, there was few corrections, but the trend was intact. There was few corrections. There was 12 corrections, if you really count, 12 correction, which was around 10%. 10% वाला correction 12 बार आया था, 20% वाला correction 4 बार आया था, और 30% वाला correction 1 बार आया था. अगर ये भी आप गिनेंगे तो भी निफ्टी ने 6 गुना 6 times, it became 6 times ये correction आने के बावजूद. So if you see budget के पहले 6 दिन was correction. It was not a trend change. So I feel कि our investors should not be afraid of the correction. In fact, corrections are healthy, so that market हमेशा 2 कदम आगे, 1 कदम पीछे, 3 कदम आगे, 1.5 कदम पीछे ऐसा ही चलता है, और ऐसा ही अपना लाइफ भी चलता है. So you must be happy with the correction to buy additional equity, to invest additional via mutual fund. So definitely one must believe that we are repeating 2003 to 2008 bull. Rakesh, as Rakesh Jhunjhunwala always says, the mother of all bull market has been started. So this now, if you see this particular chart, this is a bank Nifty. Bank Nifty chart which gave a breakout in last week after budget. Why Bank Nifty has given a breakout? If you see fundamentally, all the results are coming good. HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, now State Bank. So people are anticipating that all PSU bank will be showing the similar kind of results, and it has given the breakout on charts. So we can estimate the target of Bank Nifty would be around 47,000. This breakout target will be around 47,000, and now presently the Bank Nifty is around 35,000. So you can see 30% appreciation from here in Bank Nifty. Means all bank stocks HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, Bajaj Finance, or if you count PSU banks, Canara Bank, everybody. So this is the way we are predicting, or we are estimating, we are foreseeing how the market will get evolved in coming future. So this is the basically one index which is BSE Capital Goods Index. So what is capital goods? This is nothing but infra index. Capital goods जो लगते हैं. So this is giving breakout from 2007, November 2007, 13 साल के बाद ये इंडेक्स ब्रेकआउट दे रहा है. दिया नहीं है, it is about to break out, but it will definitely will be confirmed in next 2-3 weeks. So which companies are going to get the benefit out of it? ABB, Siemens, all L&T. So L&T 13 साल पहले जो L&T का भाव था 2007 में, वो आज भाव आया है वापस. तो ये क्यों आया है? Why? So fundamentally there is some change. Fundamentally they are getting good orders. Fundamentally the balance sheet is improving. Therefore it is giving breakout. So इसका मतलब in technical analysis terms we are saying कि this will become 3 times. अभी उसके लिए टाइम कितना लगेगा, उसका करेक्ट प्रेडिक्शन करना मुश्किल है, but this index will become 3 times. Means what? Siemens will become 3 times. ABB, ABB, L&T, then all such infra companies will grow. Means what? Economy is growing. Economy, government is spending on infrastructure, and these companies are getting good contracts. So this is the way we predict or foresee coming future. So now we'll go back to again maths. So maths में अगर हम लोग देखेंगे तो IMF ने इंडिया का प्रोजेक्शन लिया है, नेक्स्ट ईयर का GDP अराउंड 11% से ग्रो होगा. Government is trying to contain the inflation at around 5%. So real growth 11%, inflation 5%. So there would be a nominal growth of 16%. Now there are 2 main sectors in GDP, manufacturing and agriculture. Manufacturing contributes 70% of GDP, agriculture contributes 30% of GDP. With this assumption, we go for a further calculation. Growth in agriculture is projected at 5%, plus 5% inflation अगर आप गिनते हो, तो so agriculture which contributes 30% grows at 10%. Then 70% वाला जो manufacturing sector है, that has to grow at 18.5% to make it average at 16% as per earlier chart. So manufacturing grows at 18.5%. अगर हम लोग निफ्टी पकड़ रहे हैं तो निफ्टी are the clever boys among the class of 5,000 companies. Clever boys among the class of 5,000 companies. They are only 50 or Sensex is only 30. तो उसका अगर 2% प्रीमियम अगर हम लोग लेते हैं तो निफ्टी 50 और Sensex 30 will grow at 20.5%. So if you take 20%, then आज का निफ्टी एक साल के बाद 18,000 हो सकता है, एक साल के बाद 21,600, 26,000, 31,000. सेंसेक्स 50,000, 60,000, 72,000, 86,000, 1,03,000. So 5 साल में Sensex can grow to 1 lakh and Nifty can grow to 35,000. That was my opening statement in this particular chapter. So we as a Wealth Restaurant always request, and now we are specifically requesting people to increase your exposure to equity, direct to equity or via mutual fund by 25% at least. They should not miss this bus. मेरे हिसाब से 3-3.5 साल में पैसा डबल होगा. आज जो डालेंगे वो पैसा डबल होगा. That you will get around 20-22% return in coming 3 to 4 years. तो जो भी एक्सपोजर है आपका, 10,000 का SIP है, 2,500 से बढ़ाओ, 50,000 का SIP है, 10,000 से बढ़ाओ, 50 लाख का इन्वेस्टमेंट है लमसम इक्विटी में और 10 लाख रुपए डालो, just to take benefits. Secondly, we will be starting reviews of all our MF clients from next week. So Sunila will be contacting everybody and they will be taking review, and again इसके ऊपर कुछ individually questions रहेंगे, and how to increase the exposure, how, in what way, in what mutual funds, that will be explaining one on one in such reviews. So now the session is open for question answer, so you can ask the questions. Those who wants to ask the question, they can unmute there and ask the question, please.
Hello, Kiran.
Huh.
One question.
Hmm.
As you have rightly said about the capital goods,
Hmm.
they are going to improve.
Correct.
Like Nifty, do we have any capital goods index also where one can invest?
No, there is no specific capital good index, and I don't think any mutual fund is running that particular index fund. But I'll check and I'll get back to you.
Otherwise, in that case, one can create a small case.
Small case. One can create
That
a
is
small case, and these good companies like ABB, Siemens,
Correct.
they can invest in that particular company. L&T.
Okay. Similarly, for Bank Nifty, there is a ETF, no?
There is ETF. Yes.
So if you can suggest that, I think one can invest in that. That is
Yes.
simplest way.
Yes, and one financial index which has been introduced newly. There is no index as of now. There is no ETF as of now for
Correct.
that, but it will come in coming future.
Okay. So if you can suggest the Bank Nifty ETF, no, that will be great.
Will do.
Okay. Yeah.
If you have any questions, please just go ahead and ask.
Kiran, Satish.
Huh.
So I did ask that question. From where the government is going to get money, because there is a huge amount of borrowing that is going to be created, nearly 12,000 odd crore, 12,000 lakh crores or so. So where from the money is going to come?
See, basically, one point is this liquidation of government assets, like LIC IPO. Government may collect 1.5 lakh crore to 2 lakh crore by just selling the stake of 10% from LIC. So Concor hai, Air India hai. So that is the way government is trying to generate this 12 lakh crore deficit. Otherwise, government is going to print notes, like whatever. So there would be an inflation. In coming years, there would be an inflation around 5, but trying to contain that inflation to 5%, 4 and below 5%. Other that inflation is also necessary as per economics. The inflation is also necessary for growth. If you observe, last about 10 years, US Fed is trying to generate inflation in US, but they are not able to generate inflation. So inflation also propels growth. If you remember, from 2003 to 2008, when 2008 the Lehman Brothers market crashed, there was around 10-11% inflation. But here now, since government has contained the inflation in last 6 years, around 4%, 5%, they will be able to contain because food inflation. India is self-sufficient in food. India is self-sufficient in milk. So basically, food inflation can be contained. The remaining portion is crude oil. So crude oil, now if you see why the petrol is at 93 in Mumbai, because the crude oil is 60. So there could be a hitches in between, but we will be having inflation around 5% in coming years, but that will be offset by growth. They will be printing notes. To come back to your question, they will be printing notes.
Okay.
What does this quantitative easing means? Quantitative easing done by European Commercial Bank or US Fed is nothing but they're printing notes.
Okay. Thanks. Just one more. So yesterday there was an announcement by RBI governor about TLTRO and
Yes,
direct
yes. That is again
direct
a
helping
good
for
option given by
retailers.
government. Up till now, government issues. See, I'll explain you in simple words. Government issues a long-term bonds, and by that bonds, government borrows like 2045 bonds, 2048 bonds, 2050 bonds, which carries the interest around 7%, 7.12%, 7.10%, like that. So that what does that mean? 2045 bond means that bond will mature in 2045.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and the coupon rate of interest is 7.12. So investor will get 7.12. Up till now, no retail investor were allowed to invest in these bonds. They were investing through mutual funds. So there are some mutual funds who are specifically investing in GOI bonds only. So we need to invest in them. Now, government has given option to invest in GSEC directly. अभी उसका mechanism वगैरह आया नहीं है. That will come in eventually. But it is again a good financial instrument which government is offering, which can be useful from point of view of retirement plan.
Okay. Okay. Thanks. No, the reason I asked that question was because I had seen on HDFC Security side, there used to come some of these GSEC type investment or options, but I didn't understand whether it's the same or it's something different that is come.
So that mechanism has not come yet, but it will come in a month's time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Just give us 1 minute. Sorry, everyone. Please go ahead.
Kiran sir, Tanmay here. Kiran sir, I just want to understand how IT will be performing in coming days. So with this in a bull market run, so will it be worth investing in investing for a long term into Wipro shares?
Actually, specific stock I need to study to comment on. But the IT sector as a whole, if you see, Indian IT flagship companies, even mid-cap size companies like Persistent and everybody, they are obtaining good orders internationally. So internationally, we are getting good response in terms of orders and their results are good. So in next 2-3 years, IT will be performing.
Okay, thank you.
Kiran, Satish again.
Yeah.
So just one more follow-on. There is a talk that mostly some 50, 100 companies will become big, and other small companies will probably vanish or will have much lesser say in terms of market. So there will be a lot of consolidation, or a lot of big players will be ruling the market. Is that something that is expected?
Yeah, because that happens in every economy. That happens in every country. See, we in last 72 years or 65 years, if you say, we are not used to organized market. We were largely unorganized. If you see, the example of that could be, if you see farm payroll data or payroll data in US, they were expecting non-farm payroll, itna aega, utna aega, but they have got a data. We were mostly unorganized sector, rather all our businesses were organized. अभी नीचे आपकी बिल्डिंग के नीचे जो भेलपुरी वाला है, he is from organized sector, but he generates jobs, he generates income. So going forward, what will happen is, because of this, all these rules, regulations, compliance, the unorganized sector will go. 2 number का sector जो था वो निकल जाएगा, and all those market share will be consolidated to the organized players. It will happen at different degrees or different percentage in different sectors. Maybe food sectors, or maybe paint sectors, or maybe real estate sectors. I feel कि 5 साल के बाद 10 कंपनी listed रहेगा मुंबई में construction करने वाला. There won't be any small builders.
Okay. Okay.
That consolidation happens as per economics. That consolidation happens as per economics only.
No, again, the reason was, if you would have seen, Asian Paints crashed, and you have written that it's a nice opportunity. But the reason why Asian Paints has crashed is because Aditya Birla Group has announced entering into paints market, and that's why it has crashed. So these are opportunities that we need to look for, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Because argumenting in another way, they are just announced. So when their paint will come into market after 2 years, after setting up a factory and everything, and then they'll have to spend a huge amount on advertising to get the market share. Today, Asian Paints market share is around 65%, whereas if you see 3 number ka Shalimar Paints is around 2%. So this process will happen. In fact, all this competition will benefit the bigger player.
Okay. So such are the
Recently जो
opportunities.
नीचे आया है ना, that is because of crude. Crude 60 पे गया है, and crude का paint का main ingredient crude है. Crude से जो byproducts निकलता है वो. Because it is at 60, it's a sentimental came down. So I have purchased myself Asian Paints.
So such are the opportunities to look out for.
Absolutely.
Okay.
मैगी के टाइम पे नेस्ले का कितना भाव हुआ था? 5,500. आज कितना भाव है? 17,000. So they were not.
Kiran sir, this is Avinash here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is in connection with a new initiative by Rishikesh and Shalmani for the.
Correct.
So I would like to see whether I understand your point that the Nifty will grow, the Sensex will grow, and the respective larger companies also grow to that extent. But this question comes from a point of view that there are a lot of companies which are right now in the nascent stage because they are good in technology. They're actually exploring the technologies like digital, and which will grow in next say 5 to 10 years in a multifold way. So similar, we were just seeing the example of Bajaj Finance also. Say 10 years back it was where it was, and now you're seeing it at a. Had we invested something at that time, even 25,000 would have been in a much good shape. So will there be any good effort from your side in terms of the team which you have to identify such stocks, maybe in a very structured manner, which could then give us the benefit which will surpass even the Nifty or Sensex? Maybe we'll take a decision at an individual level also, so that how much to invest and what to invest, etc. But a good thought process maybe in this direction will help the fraternity.
In fact, such multi-baggers, एक तो multi-baggers मिलता है बहुत मुश्किल से और नसीब से. These are multi-baggers. Okay.
Absolutely.
हाँ. So जो equity group है उसके ऊपर हम लोग डालते थे. But say Navin Florin, for example. So Uday must echo me. So Navin Florin, we have suggested that at 525 rupees. Now it is 25.
Agree.
In 5 years. So ये तो मेरा process चलता ही है. If you are particularly interested in such type of investment, वो चला तो नहीं चला, like Vinati Organics, वो चला नहीं है. मैं लेके बैठा हूँ. वो निकलेगा. But you must have patience. See, there are different qualities, different platforms. The Nifty का जो target है 35,000, Sensex 1 lakh is my view is to create wealth. So you can differentiate your investment into ये wealth के लिए investment है,
buckets.
ये profit के लिए investment है, या trading के लिए investment है. See, there is a difference between return and wealth. So wealth के लिए wealth creation is absolutely boring. So you need to sit on it. कुछ भी अभी जैसा सतीश ने पूछा कि Asian Paints 2400, so don't get frightened. In fact, you should buy if you have money for wealth. Likewise, you should have some money or some money part for multi-baggers. I can interact with you one-on-one for this multi-bagger.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks, Kiranji. Thank you, sir.
So this discussion can be endless. Anybody else want to ask any question?
There is one point again related to the infrastructure, and it looks like even the growth in the housing sector will also grow. So that there also we need to just see whether the investment towards such I would say not infrastructure, but in terms of assets like flats, houses, will that really be worth, or
No,
how? That is more a generic question, I would say, may not be answered in one
no.
specific way, but
So how do I see it? How do I look at it? I'll explain. See, up till now, so say you are in Parla. So Parla में 20 साल पहले 3,000 रुपए में लिया हुआ घर आज 30,000 रुपए है. So 20 years में 10 times का growth था. So there was an option to invest, and the investment option was attractive in those days. So why this growth was there? This growth was there because of number two money, which were involved in this. This was most unorganized sector. कोई भी उठ के बिल्डर बन जाता था, पैसा है ले लो, प्रोजेक्ट अनाउंस करो, बुकिंग मिलता था, पैसा लेता था. All those things has gone. Now real estate sector has been consolidated, and because of going forward, as per my view, आज जो पार्ला में भाव है 10 साल के बाद वही भाव रहने वाला है. So as a investment, real estate is not at all attractive option.
yeah.
There could be a demand. How there could be a demand? One room kitchen वाला 1 BHK लेने का सोचेगा, 1 BHK का 2 BHK लेने का सोचेगा, 2 BHK में go for a bigger flat. So like in two-wheelers or four-wheeler sector, two-wheeler वाला second and four-wheeler वाला नया छोटा गाड़ी वाला सेडान वाला एसयूवी, ये जो है वो चलते रहे. बट एज ए इन्वेस्टमेंट रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर, आई डोंट थिंक सो.
Yeah, thanks, I think, because we also see that there's a trend towards smaller houses which is growing rather than the bigger, and
बट दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ नीड.
that's because of need. Yeah, need
तो
correct.
कंजम्पशन के लिए हाउस लेना है, कंजम्पशन के लिए ऑफिस लेना है, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट इट
Correct.
फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट,
For investment it doesn't make a lot of sense. I agree.
see, one question is there: what are your views on regards to USD and INR with Biden at the helm and Chinese currency gaining more prominence? What I feel is, going forward, our rupee will become strong. Maybe next 5 years, I see rupee USD will be around 65. So this is again one point which, because of which FII are inflowing, coming in with the huge inflow. Because if the dollar devaluates and rupee appreciates, in that case वो exchange gain उनको वैसा भी 2-5-10% होने वाला है. इधर जो मार्केट में जो गेन होगा, ये होगा, ऊपर से 5-10% उधर भी गेन होने वाला है. That is because of that again FIIs are coming with a huge amount. Second is Indian coming up with its own digital currency. Your feedback? No, I have not studied that, and even किस तरीके से आएगा digital currency, I don't know, but it would be an interesting thing to study and to invest in, definitely. Chalo, so let us end this session. Thank you all for participating in the Wealth Press 2N session. Remember only mantra, जो हर्षद मेहता ने बोला था, invest in India and invest more and more in India. आपका portfolio value should increase at least by 25% in coming 2 months. Wealth Press 2N team will be contacting you individually to review your portfolio and answer your questions from next week onwards. Sunila will be connecting the clients one-on-one and fixing the con calls. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran ji. Wonderful session.
Yes, thank you.